Welcome to Work the Left Side. I am beyond hyper hyped to announce tonight's guest. I am joined by the awesomeness that is Nadjei. Dude,
Yes.
how are you doing? You good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Mate, I'm awesome. 5x5, in the words of Tim Strange, too blessed to be stressed. So, mate, I'm gravy. Happy to be talking to you. I've been wanting to get you on for ages. I've always kind of been like, do I reach out? I always find it weird. There's certain people that I've interacted with on socials here and there. I know I reached out to you a while ago, but obviously you was busy man. So I finally managed to get you on and have a chat. So
Looking forward to it.
I mean, obviously, I'm a massive fan. We follow Infamous. You can probably see on the graphic underneath, the little Infamous badge down there. I've seen you or everything you've done there, kind of thing, and I've had the pleasure of talking to a ton of people now, that have ventured over from FutureShock. So I think anybody who's got Sam Bailey and Chris Ridgway kind of on the... Again, I'm going off Cage Match. I don't know how overly reliable it is, but even so, those two names appear in your bio, as trained by. Mate, that's next level.
Yeah, like I always say it to people when they ask, like Sam and Chris have probably my top two coaches that I'm so fortunate that I get to train with them, and they get to teach me a lot about wrestling. I take a lot from Sam. No, I'm gonna stop waffling, but I take a lot from Sam, and I also take a lot from Chris as well. So I'm so grateful to have them as coaches. It's
blessed. Mate, waffle away. The less I have to talk, the happier I am. And I'm happy. I'm sure everybody else will be happier as well. So I kind of touched on it straight away. I kind of never go straight into the generic question, but as soon as we're talking about Sam and Chris and stuff, I mentioned FutureShock. Was that what kind of got you interesting? What was it? I've had so many answers to this. I say it's a generic question, but you can guarantee the answers are always really varied or different. So it's kind of cool.
It's for me. It's with wrestling. It's weird. I've always liked wrestling from young. I think my first introduction to wrestling was years ago. I was 5. I remember the first match I watched was Mini Boogeyman versus Hornswoggle on a random episode of SmackDown. That's my first ever wrestling memory, because I was with a babysitter at the time, and her brother was big on wrestling, but I didn't really pay attention all too much to wrestling until I moved from London to Liverpool, and that's when I watched TNA. So around 2012, 2013. I think it was. I can't remember the guys in the match. It was an Ultra X match between Kenny King, Zima Ion, that was his name at the time, and a few other guys. And then since then, I watched a lot of wrestling. Then I got introduced into WWE more, and then I started watching wrestling a whole lot more throughout secondary. If you ask anyone from secondary, who knew me in secondary and stuff like that, the only thing I ever spoke about was wrestling. But I didn't think I was ever gonna do it until 2 years. So what? 2022. I was in a drama school in Wigan called Aura, and they shut down. And at that point, I was like, I don't know if I want to be doing... I still love acting, but I didn't know if I wanted to be doing acting. I kind of wanted something more. So I looked up FutureShock. I looked up training schools that were close to me. The closest one was FutureShock. And then just been training ever since 2022 April. Did my beginner's course. And then it all just kind of took off from there. So it's kind of weird to think about being someone who doesn't want to do wrestling. I kind of think of wrestling as a bit like physical theater. So in acting, we have physical theater. We tell stories about bodies and stuff like that. And I used to hate anything movement based. I was the most unfit person back before doing wrestling. I hated any sort of movement. And now I'm doing wrestling, and it's weird that I'm moving all the time, and I'm going to the gym, and it's such a weird feeling. But that's how I got into wrestling.
Dude, that's crazy, because like I was saying, man, because I could not besmirch anyone, but there's guys that look like wrestlers, and there's guys that look like they're going to become a wrestler, or it's early in the journey, but you're still early in your journey, but you look like a wrestler. You've got the physique, the build.
And it's weird. It's weird that you say that because like for me, like if you saw me when I first started, you wouldn't think, oh, this guy looks like a wrestler or will become a wrestler. Like I was so far from that look, and I feel like being at FutureShock, being on shows, training here and everywhere has kind of shaped me into that. Like I'm kind of growing, I'm kind of learning as I go, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even before training, I literally had no idea of the wrestlers in the British wrestling scene. Like I literally like I'm learning about new stars as I go, which is weird to like admit and say. But like my only form of wrestling was American wrestling, what I saw in TNA and WWE. So I'm always grateful to be on like, you know, infamous progress, not progress, sorry, infamous TNT, all these other promotions. And yeah, I'm just learning as I go. It's great.
I'm doing it. That's it now, mate. It's out in the universe. We put it out there. You know, it's a fraudulent slip. You know, like all progress. You know, next time progress are up north and you're on a show, I'm like,
Let's hope.
But again, though, you know, I was going to touch on the dramatics, you know, the theatre side of things because I know, obviously, from speaking to people like, you know, people that have kind of either, I don't know, the best comparison really is like people who have been in a band, you know, they've performed on stage, you know, they've had eyes on them. You know, to me, that must be one of the most daunting things when you're first starting off is stepping through that curtain, you know, walking down, getting in the ring, knowing you've got, I don't know, whether it be 30, 100, 200, 300 people, you know, looking at you. But if you've got that dramatics background, that theatre, that kind of performance, you know, heritage, then it's not easier, but you've got to be a little bit more used to it.
There are times where I've been on shows like before the curtain, before like I make my entrance. I'm like, oh god, like there's so many people. What are people gonna think of me? Well, you know, this, that, and the other. Like I do still get nervous sometimes. Especially like in my like I always go back to my first year. Like in my first year, like as much as I have that acting background and I'm used to being in front of a crowd, it's still I kind of treat every show like not as a wrestling audience, but like just as a whole different like crowd altogether. Like obviously, like I'll see, you know, a few people who've seen me before, but I treat every show as like, oh, this is a new crowd that I'm going out to wrestle in front of. So nerves still do creep up from time to time, but again, like I think having that acting background definitely helps. Being in the drama field and knowing when to engage with the audience, for me, like it helps so much.
It's that connection, like sort of say, I think, you know, because that's something obviously, you know, it's key in wrestling as you're progressing, but it normally comes, you know, a few years down the line or when you've got that kind of confidence. You know, I've seen you at, you know, Infamous when you've been doing like the detective kind of thing and, you know, your chemistry with the audience and the interaction with the audience. It's like, you know, that's just kind of, you're a few years ahead in the journey kind of thing because you know, subconsciously, I don't know, but because you've got that experience, it's kind of like you obviously, I would say you feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and for me as well, like with my acting, like I've always loved audience participation, and I feel like it's easier to do that in wrestling than it is to do on stage. Because on stage you're given a script. In wrestling, you're not given a script. You know, like I'll hit a move, and hearing, you know, the audience pop for me, or you know, someone say something in the audience, like pardon me, like I just enjoy having like being with it. But like that's my biggest thing in wrestling. Like I could be the worst wrestler in the world, cool, but like I really enjoy being connected and like making someone feel something. That's my biggest thing. It's a lot of fun. Like I would, like, again, I'm gonna start waffling again, but like I do like from show to show, I do feel the energy, and I like to feel the energy. Like even like before I make my entrance, or even during my entrance as well. Like I like to feel the energy before I perform, I guess.
You're feeding off the energy, the vibes. Is the but no, you're 100% correct because that is, you know, so important in wrestling is to have that connection with the fans, the interactions. And as I say, people generally get that further down the road when they've got the confidence kind of thing. You know, they're that focused on what they're doing in the ring that they then have to try and concentrate. It doesn't come naturally to them, you know, the interaction or the charisma. Charisma, that's the word I'm looking for. You know, certain people have got that charisma from, you know, and they build on it. That's obviously, that's yourself. And, you're freaking awesome in the ring as well. I'm not being biased. I'm not blowing smoke. Anybody who's seen you or seen the reels that I put out, man, you are smooth. You know what I mean? But and again, that comes down to, Sam and Chris obviously knowing what they're doing and passing on their wisdom to you.
Also, I mean, obviously we've got Sam and Chris who are like my main coaches, but from like my first, like during my training year, and then even throughout my first year, like I was training here, there, and everywhere. I was up at PPW. I went down to Hustle in London, RevPro School of London, just to name a few. RevPro School, London School of Wrestling, Play Fight. Like I was attending so many seminars, and training here, then everywhere. And I think I've taken a peek. Like it's always so weird when people say like you're smooth in the ring and stuff like that, because sometimes I don't feel it, but then I remember like I've put the hours in, so like I'm very appreciative that people have that feedback of me, and like I keep saying it's so weird to think about, but like when I think about my first year and how much I was wrestling in my first year and like what I was doing, it's just so weird to think that like.
That's good though, because that means obviously you're doing the laps. It's again, I suppose it's with like a lot of stuff, but again, when I've spoken to so many people and they're talking about early days, they just say it's that repetition, it's doing the laps, it's getting the reps in, and it's just 100%. You're learning by doing kind of thing. But it's just the more you do it, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the better you become. It's just So that first year is so key. Like I said, you've just got to graft. Obviously you mentioned Pursuit there. I was going to bring that up because again, anybody who knows me knows of my love for Pursuit. I always kind of shout them out whenever possible, and obviously I used a couple of the matches in the intro as well. I saw you giving that Marshall Warner a good kick in, which anybody would want to do with that face. So.
Absolutely.
But I know they've got a really good relationship, with FutureShock. I know Sam and Liam kind of switched over a few times and done seminars at each other's kind of thing. So I was going to ask if that was just off your own back, or if that was kind of like a talent, or not talent, sorry, but if that was kind of, if you just obviously heard about Pursuit through FutureShock and thought, we'll take a road trip.
I heard about Pursuit. So like I said, like during my first year, I was just like, I think it was a conversation I had with Sam, or like he must have tweeted something, be like train everywhere. It might have been before or after PPW, I can't remember, but I had my eye on PPW anyway. And then Liam came down for one seminar, and I ended up joining I ended up really enjoying that seminar. And then I think like it was like a week or two after that, I then end up training regularly at PPW, and I credit Liam and Sam a lot for where I'm at now. Like I've had like really like rough patches, and I've spoken to both Liam and Sam about, what can I do to improve? What's I feel like this, I feel like and it's like it's really helped a lot. So I think having like the in-house shows at PPW, again, training at PPW really like helped me get comfortable with wrestling now. I think, I'll say like there's a point during like maybe I'd say like towards the end of last year where I just felt a bit scatty, for lack of a better term, scatty. So if it wasn't for the guidance of Liam and like Sam, I generally think not that I would have quit, but I would have taken like a bigger step back compared to what I'm doing now. I could only give praises to both Sam and Liam.
Thankfully, you're still here. Thankfully, they imparted their wisdom, and they sort of like, because like I said, I've just sort of seen what you've been doing at Infamous this year. Obviously, loads of other places as well. Obviously, I've been a massive sort of advocate. I've been trying to get you sort of over the socials, being like, get Nadjei in Yorkshire. We want to see him here. We want to see him there, everywhere.
It's unfortunate as well, because I was going to wrestle for Tidal on the 5th, and then the show got cancelled.
You what? So no, I was going to wrestle for Tidal. That was like my next meeting. I don't really like talking about that promotion anymore, but because I'm all about. No, but I'm all about. Like I like to hype up the talent.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that it'd been. Oh, for fuck! I was about to say, that was my feeling. I was like, yeah, I've been doing this, and you're finally
Yeah,
coming up here.
I was gonna like. I hopefully I get another chance up in like Yorkshire again because I've been wanting to wrestle there for the longest time. But yeah, the show got cancelled. I was like, well, it is what it is.
Honestly, at the time, I honestly did not know that because I don't follow him anymore. I wasn't aware. I was like, Jesus, because I was just a thought. Because obviously, yeah, I think it was going to be potentially yourself versus Jet Mossel or yourself versus Tom Thelwell.
Yeah.
Dude, apologies, mate, for that. But I'm legitimately grateful for you guys because that would have been amazing. But also, I'll talk about something else then. I've just saw it announced today. You're going up against the big scary bastard that is Isaac North.
Yes, I am Isaac North. What can I say about that creepy guy? Oh, yeah, we had a match at Superstar. Was it last year or like the start of this year? He beat the hell out of me. So I'm glad to be getting another chance for the gold, which I'm gonna win. Like I'm not prepared to lose a championship match twice. Like that's not happening. That's not on my list of goals. I'm taking the gold. I'm beating Isaac North. I don't care.
Again, it's just but that in itself speaks volumes for me because obviously Isaac is really highly regarded. He's one of those. His run as Infamous Champ was amazing, next level kind of thing. And everywhere he goes, the dude just leaves an impression. And they're sort of being like, right, who can we get, to face this guy, to face this monster? And Bosh, they think of you, and it's like, okay, that to me is a massive pat on the back moment to be like, the fans want to see this match. The fans going to be hyped for this match.
I definitely don't want to go into it as people thinking I'm an underdog. No,
you're on par. That's what I was trying to say. It's like they're not
okay, cool.
I'm saying that,
but I still feel like I definitely still get those those underdog.
No. I'm looking at this,
which is fair, but like I did there. Like I've I'm past rookie season. I've come with a new mindset. I'm the boy now, so I'm no longer an underdog. I'm here to win gold and make accolades, and that's.
Rookie season's over.
If I have to get Isaac North, then it is what it is.
Rookie season is over. You're no longer, the rookie, the underdog. Like I said, I'm hyping this. Is in like this is a legit.
This is my moment. This is. I'm looking forward to my match against Isaac. Like this is. Yeah, I wasn't happy with my loss last time, but I think.
There you go. Chance to step up.
Yeah, I'm out again. Out of rookie season. I'm here to win it.
Dude, awesome. I look forward to seeing the photo because obviously, I've used the graphic of you with one belt already. Give it several months. If we ever do a part 2, I want to use it. I want to use a photo of you.
I didn't want to hear, yeah.
Freaking Justin Liger. So just with all the belts.
Please don't forget me.
That's just mental. But yeah, got to rewind back to the pursuit thing. So I was going to ask, obviously, the footage that you used was like you said about it, the in-house shows, that they're on YouTube as well. So if anybody hasn't seen them, I believe it was PPW 26 and 24 that I used the footage from. Those matches are on YouTube. Go watch them. But that in itself, I kind of find I can only imagine as being like a good experience. Like so, I said, the fact that they kind of filmed like a legitimate show, they put up on YouTube. You guys have got to enter it with that mindset of, given their out there reach as well on socials, you're going to get thousands, if not millions of people seeing this, that, or the other, whatever you're doing. That's kind of got to be a cool feeling.
100%. I remember I did a reel with Leon Slater. And like it got posted on the PPW page, and it was like it was like before like I was on shows and stuff like that, and it was so weird to see people be like, "Whoa, like nice wrestling." Like I got comments like in my DMs being like, "Oh, like nice wrestling, brother." Like, "Whoa, you're so good." Like this is crazy. It's so weird to think about. Like I was getting those kind of comments in my first year, and then when it comes to like the in-house shows, like it's always been a great learning experience. Like as much as like I like to dunk on Marshall Warner. He's He's so talented, and I had two of my best matches that year with him. The quick match I had with him, and then our I Quit match together. So talented, like I don't think if I didn't do those in-house shows, I don't think I'd be as confident or more confident than where I'm at now. And it's good to see that like they're still doing in-house shows for trainees, and they're getting new trainees. Like I definitely want to go back and do one again. Like PPW is just a place to be. Like it is amazing. Got a good setup there. Like it's honestly one of the best training schools up north. Like if you want to learn how to be a wrestler, go to PPW. Simple as that. Like it's amazing.
I like that little addition up there, though. I like that kind of like, it's one of the best schools up north. It's kind of like, yeah, very safe, very simple. I'm like, I'm not going to step on anybody's toes here. I'm just going to put up north. There we go, sorted, covered. I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to nick that myself. I don't want to appear too biased, or I don't want to annoy any other schools.
Because there's lots of schools like there's lots of schools that offer the same thing, but I think PPW definitely one of the like. For me, I definitely want to see like the North scene grow, like in terms of like seeing newer trainees and stuff like that. So get yourself down to PPW, get yourself down to FutureShock, like get yourself training. Simple as that. Like you won't regret it.
Obviously, you mentioned beforehand, your kind of like early experiences with. I love the fact that so many British wrestlers kind of their first real experience was like TNA and stuff. Obviously, because it was free on Bravo or Challenge or whatever it was at the time. So a lot of people just had access to TNA or not WWE kind of thing, and then that's kind of what they dipped the toe in. But you mentioned as well, obviously, before you kind of started, you wasn't really aware of the British scene. And that's everybody's got to start somewhere. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad answer. You know all about it now, and you're learning about it. But do you manage to, obviously, besides doing the shows that you're on, do you manage to get out and about and watch any shows nearby as a fan, or are you able to are you still able to enjoy it as a fan?
I am, but it's a lot harder nowadays. I said I was doing it a lot because I graduated from uni last year, so I was doing a lot during uni last year, like going from show to show. But it's kind of been a lot harder now. Now that I've left uni and having to look at my mum and stuff like that. But I do want to get stuck in. I'll be going down South London to watch Hustle. Hustle do their show. They've got like an ambition show. Like that's in the training school. There's other places I definitely want to go to. Trying to think now where do I want to go next.
There's so much, like sort of said, it is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Really.
Like I want to get down. I want to get down to Purpose and watch the Everything Pattern show. There's just so many shows that like I want to go to. I just don't have the time, so I end up watching it online on Thriller or just seeing like clips about it on social media. But yeah, it would be good for me to go down to shows and see them. I think for me for this year, I've kind of been working on like getting my content up in terms of like online stuff and training, because again I've literally just not had as much time to do what I want to do because I'm doing this, that, and the other.
Well, that's it. I mean, obviously, yeah, busy man kind of thing. I sort of said, I've been trying to get you on for a while, and it's been hard to kind of like get you nailed down because of how busy you are. But
I did see. Oh my god, I remember now. I went to Wales. So I went to train in Wales for the week, and then I watched the New Wave show. One of my favorite matches on that card. I don't know if they upload it on YouTube or whatever, but wherever it gets uploaded, Tommy Vrill.
Tommy Vrill, yeah. Tommy Vrill
versus Jay Joshua, match of the night. Probably one of my favorite matches that I've watched this year. It's exceptional. Like, watch it. Amazing.
You've got to appreciate his entrance as well, haven't you? That's the thing. He's kind of. I can imagine him being one of those
guys. It's so intense. Like, I know nothing about ballet, but like when I see him when I saw him make his entrance, because I've watched him wrestle twice now. When I saw him make his entrance, I was like, oh my god, this is in. Yeah. This is like I'm locked in. Like, it's insane. Tommy Vrill is amazing.
Yes. I've seen him once at the promotion that I won't mention. And yeah, mate, his entrance is kind of like, I thought at first, I was a bit like, Because obviously you got Cara Noir, who kind of does, you know, the big dramatic kind of thing. I was a bit like, oh, is it going to be? And then Tommy came out, and I was like, this is so different. It's not even compared. It's just, yeah, mate. I was just like, I kind of felt like I'd overpaid for this ticket. Cause I was like, man, I'm on the edges of my seat here. You know, I didn't need to pay full price for this seat. I'm using a little bitty bit of it.
I love like intense.
It's the drama, isn't it? It's the dramatics. It's that kind of.
Yeah, it's like I remember like looking up like when I first started like looking at Cara Noir, and then obviously I want to say this wrong, but Ilja Dragunov on WWE, like he's for me like he's like one of a great example of like if I could be a wrestler, I'd probably want to be Ilja Dragunov. Like,
dude, just, yeah, he embodies it, doesn't he? Kind of thing. It's just like
it's honestly so beautiful.
But again, though, that's wrestling in its purest form, in that kind of source of entertainment. Like sort of said, it's making that connection with the fans. It's getting the fans on the edge of the seats before anything's even happened. You know, you just kind of sat there and you're captivated. And you're like, you know, when it's done right, you cannot take your eyes off it, and that is just an amazing form of entertainment. It's just, dude, I just like. I've just got Tommy Ville's entrance going through my head now. I'm like, wow. But again, you know, that's the kind of thing, you know, when you're getting into, when you're talking about wrestling and, you know, you're trying to, because again, like I said, you know, you've got this sort of background and you're trying to, I don't know, obviously you've had this kind of experience of talking to people, you know, that you did, you know, dramatics, theatre stuff with, you know, have, you know, contact with. And if you turn around now and say, oh, you know, I'm doing wrestling, they'll look at you and be like, what? You'd be like, I'm still telling stories. I'm still doing you know, you're still performing. But it's kind of a hard thing. It's a hard sell to some people, I would have thought.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to even explain to some of my friends, like, this is what I do. And there's a lot that goes into it. Like, yeah, you can watch it at surface value, but then like once you like come to a show or like get more in the know about wrestling, it's, you know, it's a lot more than what you initially see it as. Yeah, it's a feel like again, I didn't know it was going to be a lot until I started doing it. Like even I'm victim to that.
It's got layers, dude. That's what we're saying.
100%.
Well, we're obviously talking about, you know, they say, you know, going out to London, obviously not shouting you out, trying to, you know, say like Yorkshire, take notice kind of thing. But hey, the scene over where you are is just thriving. Like, so, you know, I've mentioned Infamous, we mentioned FutureShock, you know, you've got TNT over there, you've got Wrestle Island, you had OTP, you know, you've got a lot of very good top-notch promotions. So it must be an exciting time to kind of just be, you know, like I say, I keep wanting you to venture out, but hey, you know, you could make a hell of a name for yourself just on that scene alone.
I'm so appreciative of TNT. Again, like getting to know like promotions last year, and TNT being one of the top ones in my opinion. Being able to debut there last, like I had such a like one of my favorite matches, probably of all time, like one of my personal favorites. I had my match with Jimmy Jackson, and it was like it was kind of the match that made me realize like holy like whoa, like I can keep up, like I'm actually here, like I'm doing this. Another one that I really wanted to work for the longest time was Atomic. I believe I debuted against, was it Kempo? I think I debuted against Kempo for Atomic.
I was going to bring that up at some point as well, because obviously, again, anybody watching me knows my boy Kempo. I was going to be like,
that was a intense match. Yeah, just like there's so many like people like I've still yet to wrestle in like in the north, like I guess in the north, the region, like Manchester, Liverpool. But yeah, like wrestling on one of those shows, Atomic, TNT, FutureShock, seeing like the turnout, seeing like, because the fans are like really engaged as well. Like the fans, I think like probably one of the best crowds in the UK. Don't crucify me, but like, you know, like you come to Atomic and it's sold out, and like, you know, people are chanting Nadjei. Like I was in a Fit 5-way the other month at Atomic, and like the closing of moments of that match, having people chant my name and stuff like that, like it's just crazy how into wrestling people are like and a lot of it is like a lot of the fans that I see anyway are just casual fans. Like they're not, they didn't go from show to show and stuff like that. So to have them hooked in Northwest and stuff like that, it's special. It's special to me. I love it.
Obviously, another one we mentioned. I was going to mention the topic I said because of the Culpepper thing, but I mentioned Soft Pro as well. I know they're kind of on hiatus at the minute, but that they absolutely smashed it. In their debut year, you work Soft Pro. These are all promotions, dude, that most talents in this country would cut off the pinky to work for, kind of thing. This is like there's limited slots, there's limited matchups available, limited talent they can book. And you're getting these spots, they're looking at you being like, yes, we trust this guy to entertain our fans. We want to give this guy our money. We know he's going to do a job for us. And it's just like, it's just, to me, mate, that's just a massive pat on the back moment. And
I'm very fortunate for like having promotions and having management like trust me to deliver. It honestly, it does mean a lot to me. Like I didn't say it a lot online. Like I try not to be like, I try not to be like too corny or like soppy or whatever, but like it is like it does mean a lot to me when like I am being booked on these shows and I am being able to wrestle. Like with anyone, like it is just like a good feeling. But I think again for how my first year went in rookie season, and how, like the opportunities that I was getting during first year, it was just like.
Mate, it's mind blowing. And like I said, I just wanted to take a second, just in case you didn't acknowledge that, mate. That's got to be acknowledged because that is legitimately just, it's kudos to you. It's just kind of like, validation, man. You're like, yes, I'm nailing it. I'm as good as as I think I was. I'm as good as these people think I am. But we just mentioned. I'm going to rewind a second because. We mentioned fans go from show to show to show to show to show, which takes me to, Mr. Jeebus himself. I've got to shout out.
I love Jeebus. Oh my god!
I think that's the first time I saw you was on one of his reels. I even commented on it. Like, he needs to get a phone cover. So I think like for about 2 or 3 shows in a row, you came out and kissed his screen.
I don't care. I'm taking the phone covers off. I love Jeebus. Are you kidding me? Jeebus Cam, I love it. He's on. I remember like I remember seeing Jeebus. Not even when like because I was on Twitter a lot before I picked up wrestling, just seeing his stuff online. I was like, oh my god, like this guy's so cool. Like I've always had the stuff with Jeebus. So like to be kissing his phone now is crazy.
It's weird to think though. I'm trying to think back. And I was like, right, when because obviously I try and keep up with a lot of stuff that's going on.
The first time I did it. When was the first time I did it? I think it might have been at Atomic. It might have been at Atomic the first time I did it. But like I didn't even know why I did it. I just came out and like his thing was in my face. I was like, okay, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So I just screw it, I'll just kiss his phone. And then it's become a mainstay thing now.
That's it. I love it. It's amazing. Obviously, when you at your time like suit, because I think it's the Marshall Warner match. On the YouTube, you can see you're getting like Jeebus' face again, like in his camera kind of thing, and it's captured at Pursuit when he's sat there filming. But it's just crazy to me that that's the first thing I saw of you was you just puckering up and giving Jeebus' camera a quick kiss, and I was like, yes, I like. But again, that is that's half the battle in wrestling. So many people have sort of said. It's not just what you do in the ring. You want to be memorable. You want to do something that leaves an impression. You want to do something that makes people talk about it after the show, not just what happened in the ring, but the people that they've seen. And it's stuff like that. It's stuff that you do, that interaction, that makes you memorable.
100%.
That's half the battle with wrestling is to you want to be memorable. You want to be the guy that people are talking about after the show, and also being like, oh crap, they're back in town, or Nadjei's booked. I remember him from the last show. Not just because of what he did in the ring,
even like so I try and keep like as much as I'm annoying on social media. I try and share a lot of my interests. Like even just outside of the ring, like. Everyone knows I game a lot. Everyone knows that I'm into like the whole Y2K kind of things, into Pokemon and all this, that, and the other. I think it's another level of like getting not close, but I guess like relating to, my audience. You know what I mean? Like I like I'll say with there, but I've got like piranha plant slippers as well. Like I can notice like, you got the Sonic in the background, and there's Ted, and there's like Mario in the background and stuff like that. Like I just suck for that stuff. So like I do want like, is that Bowser?
That's Bowser in Bowser's Cup. Mario Lego, man. Mario Lego.
I do try and get like fans to relate to me, like even in like a non-wrestling context. Like,
no, that I like that because again, it kind of, it's nice to kind of know it's not because not everything's got to do with sort of wrestling. I love it when again, when you sort of like see the WWE guys, like Xavier Woods, for example, or Tyler Breeze.
Xavier Woods is definitely like one of my inspirations, like in and out of the ring, like see up down and all this other stuff. Like it's like this the kind of things I want to do, like it's I take a lot from it. Like
well, that just makes him even cooler, I mean, knowing he's into that kind of sort of stuff makes the fans appreciate him more, get behind him. It's just kind of like it's just very, very likable, especially when you kind of, if you could like incorporate it into like your wrestling gear or something, if you kind of came out with some Mario or Sonic
my wrestling gear, I get like I love anime as well. My favorite anime is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Both my recent wrestling gears are both based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So the little hand, I try and make references here, then everywhere.
I was going to ask about, that's another thing as well that's kind of interests me is when I've spoken to people, where they get their influences from, where they can kind of tap into sort of things for inspiration, is outside of wrestling. A lot of people will use anime, like you sort of said, or they'll use comics, or they'll use music. It's always kind of intriguing as to kind of like how the brain works to, like, if you're listening to a piece of music, or if you're like, say you're watching some anime and you see something, you'd be like, oh shit, that would look awesome on my gear.
For me, I mean, in this moment in time, music's definitely one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to what I do. It's just one of my biggest inspirations in general. I'm very into like the underground British side of, like the black British side of music. So my theme song, for example, like is from my favorite artist. The way I like my dress sense and stuff like that is very influenced by that kind of black underground vibe. I can't put it into words. I draw inspiration for a lot of things, but I think right now music's definitely like the biggest one at this moment in time. I'm very like heavy on it.
Because again, I'm only talking from this side of the, like, if it was me, I'm a massive film geek. I'm a massive film nerd.
What's your favorite film?
My favorite film. You'll have never heard of it, mate. It's called True Romance.
No, heard of it. What's it about?
I say that to everyone. They're like, I had somebody on previously. They're like, oh, I'm a massive film nerd. I was sort of saying, but I love films. Like, oh, mate, I'm a much bigger film geek. And I mentioned that film. They're like, never heard of it. I was like, oh, because you popped me ages ago on Twitter. I think it was when I was trying to sort of advocate, to get you into Yorkshire, and you basically used a GIF from Demolition Man. To be like, oh, this is what it would look like. Yeah, this is what it would look like in Yorkshire. And it was like, oh, these.
Oh yeah. I remember. Oh my god.
But I was just like, oh, yeah. Demolition. Again, anything from Demolition Man just popped me. I was like, yeah. But again, it's just, so I'll be drawing inspiration from films, or again, comic books. That's my other source of inspiration.
I've been wanting to get into comic books. Like I don't know, like I've always wanted to get into comic books, but they kind of scare me in the sense that there's so many comic books, and there's so many like I don't know where to start. Like, for example, I like Batman. Like I like Batman. I like Lego Batman. but like I would love to read a lot more about Batman. But it's like, where the hell do I start? Because there's so many like different Batmans and different comics about Batman's. Like the absolute Batman, and you got like was it the Batman that laughs, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, mate, yeah. It's a rabbit hole, and I totally get you. I mean, I've read comics on and off for like 20 years, and even I find it daunting. You know, if I don't read a comic for 2 years, I'm like, oh crap, you know, where do I start from now, kind of thing. And you know, I've got some knowledge of it. If you look to dip your toe in it, it's just carnage.
I definitely need to tap in. Like, if you can recommend me a comic, I'll genuinely like be like, okay, cool, I'll read this.
Okay, I'll get my thinking cap on. I'll be like, right, okay, what can? Okay. So I've got one for you, right? Yeah, right. Batman related. We'll start you off with look up the Long Halloween.
The Long Halloween.
The Long Halloween. Possibly the greatest Batman story ever told. So, and it's kind of like an origin story as well. So,
does it still follow like? Does it still follow like Bruce? Like, is it still like the same backstory? Or is it like a different kind of backstory?
Yeah, no, it's still Bruce. It's like early doors of him and his career, but it's more about the origin of Two-Face. But it's got every sort of villain in there. It's kind of got like, you know, it's a murder mystery basically. Just it so happens to be a Batman story, but it's a massive. You know, somebody gets killed on every sort of holiday. So there's like a Valentine's killing, an Easter killing. There's a, you know, this, that, and the other. And it goes from one Halloween to the next year. So it's one, you know, there's a death every month, but you don't know who's done it. And it's kind of like, it taps more into Batman being a detective than anything.
Okay, cool.
I thought yourself being a detective, you know, that would be that would apply to you. Or,
I love like murder mysteries and like just like detective stuff. Like because I'm big on my games. Phoenix Wright, one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Danganronpa is also a detective. Like I just love murder mysteries. So I'm waffling now, but sorry, I'm gonna stop talking. But there's a really good detective series on Netflix. It's called The Resident, and it follows a murder mystery in the White House. I need everyone to watch it because I'm.
No, I'm trying to think. Is this the one who's kind of just been shoved off down to working in the basement or something? Well, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the main guy in it's just kind of been put off to one side, and he picks up the phone. It's like a random phone call. I'm trying to think if that's the one, or might be something else.
There's a phone call. You might be thinking of something, but there's definitely a phone call moment in that. So I think you're all right. I think it might be what you're thinking of.
Yeah, cool. It's on my list.
I'm not making spoilers, but
a few people have shouted it out for me. But yeah, The Long Halloween, an amazing murder mystery story that just so happens to be a Batman story as well. So
I'll definitely tap into it.
Dude, let me know what you think. But yeah, you know, there's all that kind of sort of stuff. And then we sort of said, sorry, man, I'll take it back to wrestling now. Sorry, dude. I just kind of totally sidebarred you off there.
But, sorry. No. I love geeky stuff. Like, I love it.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to return the favour here. You asked me what my favourite film was. I didn't think to. I kind of got swept away with the whole Batman thing. Right, I don't normally deal with favourites, just one. I don't like to limit it. So I generally deal in top fives. So if I was to ask you what your top 5 films were, could you shout them out? You know, the first ones that come to mind.
Okay, so my favourite one of all time is The Lovely Bones. It's not like it's about a girl who gets murdered and like she's trying to like let people know in the afterlife. So The Lovely Bones, because there's no new order now. Joker, was one of my favorites. Oh, I don't know. This is my top 2, and I don't know what's number 3. Lovely Bones, Joker. Oh, I don't know. I'm on the spot now. It's gonna sound so stupid, but I really like Despicable Me 2. Despicable Me 2 is a really good film.
Yeah. Really I'd totally take that as an
answer. Number 4. Oh, number 4 probably. I want to sound like a little kid now. Sonic 3, because that's one I've recently watched in cinema. That's a really good one. Sonic 3. That's one I've watched recently that I really liked as well.
I think it's
what's it called? Oh, I forgot it. No, I
But,
forgot it. Actually, no. And then number 5 will probably be like again, it's like in random order. Um, Get Out or any Jordan Peele movie because I love
oh,
Jordan Peele
yeah.
films. So Get Out. I haven't seen him yet, so I hope to get to see him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
because like I love Daniel Kaluuya. He's my favorite actor. So anything that Daniel Kaluuya's in, I'm a fan.
That's a big thumbs up. No, dude, I'll take that. I don't. There's no wrong answer, to any of those kind of things. It's just obviously films.
I know,
Films
but
are
I feel like but all my film tastes are so random because like you got like The Lovely Bones, which is like my favorite of all time, which is like a very like sobby like it's not a like hearty movie at all. And then Despicable Me, like it's just I don't know, it
not
fluctuates.
mate. No, dude. Because that's the thing. Nobody can. For me personally, nobody can judge because films mean different things to different people. It could be that
Mm,
you went to go see it with us, with somebody, or it reminds you of somebody, or it reminds you of a certain time. That's what any kind of form of entertainment like that. Like same with music, it's so
yeah.
individual. So it's your preference, and yeah, whatever the top 5 is, it's your top 5 for a reason, and that's awesome. So I'll take that. And I'll show you my
Okay.
Sonic 3 bucket because I've got that right next to it in a minute. That was one of the first films that I went to take my son to go watch at the cinema.
Oh, sick.
So that
Someone
was a
bought me
popcorn bucket.
that's
That was a popcorn
insane.
bucket.
That's insane. Someone bought me like a Sonic plushie from like based on the movies as well. Like I've got so many Sonic memorabilia in my room. It's ridiculous.
But my son's a massive
Um,
gamer. It was literally like first film we went to the cinema to watch was the Super Mario film, and then the second one he ever went to the cinema to was to go watch Sonic 3. It was like, right, anytime a
it's
comic
yeah.
book film, a game film comes out, it's like then we went to go watch Minecraft. It's like, right, there we go.
I've yet to
So
see that one actually.
it is what it is, mate.
That's
If you
a
like games, I've never played Minecraft, so I kind of went into it purely because Jason Momoa was in it and Jack Black. So I was like, I'm going to
oh
enjoy it
okay.
because they're likable guys,
Yeah.
aren't they? But yes, wrestling. Sorry, dude, I kind of totally. I apologise.
That's
And I just went
good.
back to
No,
talking
don't
about wrestling.
apologize.
Sorry, dude. But yeah, so obviously wrestling over that side. We've like I said, we've mentioned Atomic, we've mentioned TNT, OTP, Soft Pro, Infamous. It's just I say just working there. They say I want to shout out Atomic. We did mention it. A while ago. Like I said, you had that Kemper match. Atomic are an amazing promotion that just seemed to be, like I said, selling out every show. They're putting on great
Yeah.
shows. It's a great vibe.
One
It's
of
an
the
amazing
best.
energy.
One of the
And like I
one
say,
of
yeah,
the best.
you've made your debut there now. So personally, as a fan, I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm excited to see what you do there now.
You need to get yourself to an Atomic show. Like
I know.
it's the venues, the brewery house, the content. Honestly 2 of my favorite venues that I've wrestled in. And again, like the wrestling there's always top quality. The vibe there's always top quality.
But
Really,
again,
really.
obviously, I know Sam's been there, and it seems to be kind of like obviously there's a lot of other amazing talent there as well, but there seems to be like a handful of FutureShock guys there. There's a few Pursuit guys there. So
Mm.
I don't know. Are you kind of in the middle, being like, are you just you're a FutureShock boy who just kind of ventured out a little bit?
I guess I'm a bit of a future shock boy now compared to when I was first. Yeah, because obviously, like I'm in future shock a lot more now.
Yeah.
Um, so whatever future shock's got going on, then I'm there. Um, but yeah, like like yeah, a lot of the guys that wrestle there, whether it be future shock or PPW, always so talented. But yeah, like I feel like I'm becoming more of a future shock boy now that like I've not been to PPW in so long.
No, but I'll say proud dudes. I think FutureShock. You got to represent the.
But I don't want to put any titles or anything. Like I love both my guys. I love both my coaches equally. They didn't want to claim me, but I love them both. But yeah.
I bet you're on the fence. I'm like, no, right? You've got to be like, but
You know what?
yeah,
I'm in the middle.
you got to do that thing again with you, like, oh, it's one of the best schools up north, or this is one of the best schools in the west, or this is one of the best schools in the east. But yeah, like sort of all down south. But going forward, we've mentioned, like I said, you want to go down to like hustle and stuff like that as well. But again, I can only put stuff out into the universe. I can only speak as a fan. But I can't see, a ceiling for you kind of thing. Like I said, the matches that you've had, the people that they're putting you against, the promotions you've worked for. I just think, yeah, mate, not to sound cliched, but to the moon. I just think, and it's mind blowing. I keep forgetting that you're only a couple of years, like you sort of said, you've just finished rookie season, really.
This is just I'm in my second year now, and there's so many things that I want to achieve. And like I've like again, whenever I say it's crazy that I had such a good year during rookie season, I mean it's literally crazy that I had such a good year in rookie season, because I ticked off so many lists that I thought I'd be doing in my second or third year. But to have so many like accomplished, like for example, like again, like wrestling for TNT was one of my my goals, and I did that in my first year. Getting to wrestle for Atomic was one of my goals. I did that my first year. Now my second year, like there's so many championships I want to win. There's so many championships I have my eye on. There's so many lists I want to be on. Like PWI came out recently, and like my biggest goal in wrestling, it's gonna sound so weird, isn't to like, it's not like, obviously like my biggest goal in wrestling is to be on a PWI list. Like it sounds so weird to say, but like I feel like once I'm on a PWI list, I feel like I've always thought about it, even before I was training. So that's one of my biggest goals.
That's what to be, because it's the top 500. There's thousands of wrestlers in the world.
Like I made it on the BWI. That was like the Black Black Wrestling Illustrated 500, which was last year.
In rookie season as well.
Yeah, like things like lists and stuff like that in wrestling. Like I just always think like this is it's so cool. I don't know why, but it's just so cool to be on a list of, like other wrestlers who are like either at the same level, just like wrestlers that I look up to. Just crazy to think about it.
Is it because it confirms, mate, that you're on the same journey, you're on the same path, you're on that same ladder. As like so said, some of these people that you look up to, or people that you've watched, or people that have been an influence. It kind of confirms, you're in the same pool, you're on that same ladder, you're on the same journey, and that's got to be. Yeah.
And like I said, like I'm always so appreciative of the fact that I am here and I am doing what I get. I'm doing what I get to do. Like it's, like again, I'm so thankful for like all the promoters, all the managements, all the fans, and just everyone for watching me and putting their faith. Putting their faith in me. Because like I have struggled, definitely. Like I did struggle for a fair bit, like towards maybe like the start of this year. I did definitely like struggle to find my footing. But yeah, like it's just goal after goal after goal after goal after goal after goal, and like you said, there's no. You feel like there's no ceiling. I definitely feel like there's no limit. Like I always say to myself that I don't want to be the best. I never say that I'm the best or I'm perfect. Like for me, like I just want to keep growing and growing. So I'm just appreciative of everything that's happened so far and what I've been able to do. And I just hope I get to hit all the goals that I get to hit before the end of this year. Like there's goals I'm going to hit at the end of this year. And
good, kick them off, man. Kick them off. Talking of PWI, I just want to take a second just to shout out. Obviously, there's a lot of awesome British names on the top 500. But one of the person I want to shout out specifically is RPD. The dude is
phenomenal. Awesome. One of the nicest guys I've met.
Yes, that's it exactly. Which is why I want to take that second. He's the only 3-time guest on this show for a reason. It's just I love it when good shit happens to good people, and RPD is a perfect example of that. Shout out for getting on, being on the Bloodsport card. Shout out for being in the PWI 500. What an absolute guy, and thoroughly deserves it. So sorry about that. I just wanted to take a quick second just to. Acknowledge the awesomeness, but I'll be hopefully next year I'll be cutting off somebody else's interview, being like, oh, I just want to shout out Nadjei, you know, he's made the top 500. What a guy! So, and then you'll tick that off the list. Jobs are good.
Absolutely.
So I'm just sort of, you mentioned. I don't know if I want to be a twat about it and ask about the list and put you on the spot, or do I just kind of wait to see, you know, and just see what happens, and then you can sort of
my bucket list. I'll name some. If you want.
Yeah, so, I'm always really hesitant about asking. So I'm like, oh shit.
Nah. See, because I'm never vocal about like what I want to put on like my list and stuff like that. I kind of wait till it happens, and when it happens, it happens. This one I've been very vocal about. I want to be FutureShock Adrenaline champion. Like I've had my eye on that championship. Like since I found out, like when I went to my first show, for FutureShock, and I was like I want to be Adrenaline. Like I feel like it just makes sense. You know, you look at wrestler and you think Nadjei Adrenaline, yeah, that just makes sense. That's my biggest one. Like same level as championship. I want to be Ultra X champion in TNT. I've seen like Shane Mene is a current holder right now, and I think Shane Mene is amazing. Hopefully I get a chance to wrestle Shay. I want to wrestle overseas. Obviously I mentioned PWI. What else? I'll give you three. That's my main. That's my big three.
Yep.
My big three. Wrestle overseas, Ultra X, and Adrenaline Championship. I'm just fantasy
booking you versus Shay Monet now, because I'm just like, you know, I've had the pleasure of seeing him at True Grit a few times, and you know, they're teasing him versus Adam Bolt, and it's just like, my God, that's going to be awesome. But now I'm thinking about Shay Monet versus Nadjei. I'm like, oh my. Who currently holds the Adrenaline title?
Tony Wright.
Oh, that leads me perfectly into my next thing. That leads me perfectly into the next thing, because I was going to ask them. I will let you get gone soon. I will start to wrap up. But again, obviously in the intro, there's footage from matches, and obviously, you know, I clocked and I watched, you know, you versus Tony Wright. Again, you know, there's so many people I could shout out that I've got love for and appreciation for. Tony's another one of those guys. You know,
Tony Wright is amazing. Tony Wright, funny enough, when I first started training, he gave me his old pair of like training boots that I still use to this day. That match that you've used in the highlight for Infamous, that was one of the matches where it kind of made me realize like along with the match with Jimmy Jackson, that was like a very like vital match for me, because it was at that point where I was like I was a bit lost, I was a bit mentally like drained, and I had that match with Tony, and it was just like it kind of reunited my spark for wrestling and for me to, you know, keep doing this. I've had many talks about Tony in terms of like, you know, my self-image and just stuff that I won't get into until like the time is right and stuff like that. But I think Tony's definitely helped me. But like I don't think he knows it, but he has definitely helped me with my confidence, and like I owe a lot. So I'm waffling. Like Tony's great, and I owe a lot to Tony so far. So yeah. Say what you want to say about Tony, but Tony, you can't go wrong with Tony, right?
No, I was going to say, I said it before, but just never apologise for waffling. Waffle on. I have to talk less. It's fine. But yeah, I suppose I was going to mention that match. I asked what it was like, you know, to be.
Yeah,
I know Tony's a FutureShock guy, and I just obviously, you know, you probably know him very well. But he's one of those guys for me that, you know, it's just a massive learning curve being in the ring with him. I can imagine, you know.
It's just like he has like we talk about aura a lot like in this day and age, but like Tony Wright just has like he has aura, like he is like his presence, like you can feel it whenever he comes into the ring, how he carries himself and stuff like that. And like I feel like you can learn a lot from just watching him, even just his entrance, just watching how he carries. Like you don't even have to watch him wrestle. I mean you do, but like you don't have to what like if you just pay attention to how he carries himself, and how he does his moves and how he moves, like you will learn a lot. Like Tony's like one of the best in the North, and like I hope like he gets everything that he deserves.
Yes, no, I fully agree. Like I say, it's just the mannerisms, the confidence. Like I say it's just got that aura about him. It just exudes awesomeness, machismo. To an old phrase. Obviously, I had the pleasure of watching him versus Adam Bolt in a ladder match at True Grit a few months ago, and that for me was just anybody who wasn't aware of Tony, sure as hell now knows how great Tony is after that match. Kind of thing. It's just everybody was talking about it. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I would highly shout out watching Adam Bolt versus Tony Wright in a ladder match for the Pride title at True Grit. You're going to be a better wrestler for just being in the ring with him. So,
100%. Really, really good.
I've just clocked the time. Sorry, Matt. I said I'll keep you for about an hour, and I've gone over as usual.
That's good.
But do you want to let people know where they can sort of hit you up? Obviously, we've kind of talked about socials and the importance, you using them and getting stuff out there. But yeah, let them know where they can come see, give you a follow.
You can find me on Twitter or X, Instagram, and Blue Sky whenever I do choose to use it, at NVDJEI. So Nadjei, but replace the A with V. NVDJEI. That's my social media. Hoping to start streaming soon. So this has been a good experience getting to know how it's like to be live and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Dude, no, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Like I said, somebody that I wanted to talk to you for a long time. Obviously, massive fan. Love what you're doing. Like I say, I will get to see you over at some point. I'm still legitimately, if anybody's watching this and you watch it back in slow motion, and when you say when you tell me you're not going to be in Yorkshire, you could probably see it at that exact moment. My little heart breaks. So
I will be definitely is that like that's one of my goals again, to be back up at Yorkshire outside of PPW. I'll definitely be back. That's my list. That's one of my bucket lists. I'll tick it off.
I want to see Nadjei and Planet Wrestle, True Grit, Planet Wrestle, places like that. FCB, FCB is a great promotion. Blackheart, Blackheart at Guiseley Theatre, mate. You can turn up, do what you do in a theatre. So, but yeah, fingers crossed we'll see you there. But no, dude, thank you so much. It has been, a genuine pleasure. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you so much for having me,
dude. Obviously, everybody else watching, thank you for watching. And as always, hit like, subscribe, share, comment, all the generic stuff we ask you to do. So, yeah, do all that sort of stuff. Keep your eyes peeled for some more guest announcements. I'm hoping to pin down Jack Bennett and Luca Bricante through some dates as well as some other people. So, yeah, that's it, really. So, thank you for watching. And remember, always work the left side. Goodbye.